In this video, I want to show you how to animate a chat history. So I'm going to show you how to animate a chat history. And this is a video that I would love for you to watch, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. This can be a photo or one of the included backgrounds. The background doesn't need to be faded in. With that in mind, I'm going to animate the chat now. And that's where I start with the first chat bubble or bubble. For this, I use the dynamic rectangle shape. The bubble I create now can then be used for all further chat posts. I shrink the rectangle shape in the layout designer. And then the first thing I do is change the color. I have the color palette pastel colors here, and then I use a light green for now. Furthermore, I want the shape to look a bit like a speech bubble. And for that, you need different corners. I round off 3 corners and only leave the top left corner square. Then it looks like this. I'll show it later in large, then you can see it better. And I soften the edge very slightly. Furthermore, I activate the leave it on the table, don't hide it. Then I grab the text object to create my first text. It is quite helpful to know roughly what you want to write in advance, so that you can then create the content appropriately. I'll paste my text here and adjust the formatting. I'm going to choose a black font color. I'm going to set the font size to 14. Feel free to experiment with different fonts. The example from the beginning used Roboto. I'm just going to keep using Open Sans here. Next, I'll place my text and adjust the size of the selection frame again. Now I'm going to change the alignment. Now all I've got to do is match my rectangle to the size of my text. I'm clicking on the rectangle in the layout designer and sliding it to fit the text. And with that, the first bubble is already done. In most chat apps, you usually see a photo of the sender next to the bubble. We're going to add that now too. I'm going to get an image here. And I want to show a rounded head. You could do this with an image effect. But in this case, I'll just use the static mask effect. In the effect properties, I'm going to select a circular mask. This gives us a round section of our image. But because the photo is in portrait format, we don't see the whole circle yet. So I'm scaling the mask now. Make the mask smaller. And then I place the mask on our photo where the head can be seen. Slide the mask image to the left of the bubble. Let's take another look at the overlay. The mask image should not have an overlay. The text object should also not have an overlay. I set this to no effect. Under Adjust, I'm going to go to Hide and select Leave here, Don't Hide. This ensures that the text and text background are always of the same length. Is the background always the same length? The chat message should now slide into the image with a fade. For this, I put all the components in a Flexi-Collage. That is, rectangle in the Flexi-Collage and static mask. Everything in the Flexi-Collage, and the Flexi-Collage then gets the fade. From the left, without motion blur in 0.5 seconds. That's what it looks like at first. And there's still something missing. I will add the sound. I've already picked out suitable sounds on Pixabay before. He's looking, for example. And then adds them as a sound object. I'll play it loud. Attention. Then we animate the answer. For this, I copy the complete flexi again and now adjust it in several places. First of all, I put the Flexi-Collages exactly under each other in order to better coordinate the width and arrangement. The timing, when which bubble appears, I only do at the end. So, I'm renaming this Flexi-Collage 2 on the right, so I know it comes in from the right, and I adjust it accordingly. Slide the overlay in from the right, then I change the rectangle color. I'll choose a bluish color and make the upper left corner rounded and the upper right corner square. Then I change the text content, adjust the selection frame of the text, and then change the size of the rectangle background accordingly. Now the image needs to be replaced. I drag the new image directly onto the existing one and replace it. The head is now in a different place in the photo, so I need to change the position of the mask in the mask effect. To do this, I select the mask effect and change the position of the mask through Shift X, but keep the size of the mask the same, and now move the mask to the right to the chat bubble. At the moment, both contributions are precisely one above the other. I'll arrange it via the Flexi-Collage now. I'll highlight the Flexi-Collage and drag my entire collage down. You can also see very well that the blue rectangle is too wide, and I'll change that now. I'll highlight the text here, drag the selection box smaller, and then highlight the rectangle shape again, and see that it's a bit smaller again. I've left a bit of room to the right of the text where you can insert a smiley. I'll find it in the toolbox Objects, insert it, and adjust the size exactly to my right size. The second bubble is now ready. If you want, you can change the sound so that a different sound comes. I'll quickly do that and then add a third comment, for which I'll again copy my first left bubble. Place it down here. Match the content to the color of the rectangle. I can leave the text content and replace it. I'll do that now in 2 lines. You can then always copy these templates one-sidedly, two-sidedly, three-sidedly, again and again as needed. Save yourselves. So let's do a little bit of alignment, and the answer here comes from a third person, which means I'll also exchange the photo again. And I'll adjust the mask again, so I'll place the mask correctly on my photo, and then I'll place the round mask again to match the text, and I'll highlight the Flexi-Collage again to arrange my post. To be carried out. And then I copy the post from the right again. And then I remove the text and let only a smiley speak. To make everything look a bit prettier, you can use the shadow effect. You can find the shadow effect in Video Vision and in Stages. Place all 4 flexi layers in the shadow effect. This makes the chat history stand out a little nicer from the background. And now it's all about the right timing. I arrange the flexi layers in the shadow effect so that they are staggered in time. You can do this either by dragging in the timeline or by entering the distance value at the top of the properties. Remember that people need some time to read the text and that it actually takes some time to type the answer, and with some trial and error, you'll get a harmonious result. And one more tip at the end. You can also animate a chat history in a 9:16 aspect ratio. Simply set your project directly to 9:16 and you can use it, for instance, to create shorts for YouTube or even videos that can be played upright on your mobile phone to simulate a chat history. You create the project exactly as shown earlier. You can use backgrounds. You use the dynamic rectangle shape to create the bubbles. And when everything is ready, you can also export this project as a 9:16 video. The program automatically ensures the correct setting. You only determine the resolution at which the video should be exported. I'll soon show an example of what it could look like in portrait mode. Have fun replicating this. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Thank you.